Hey, this is Maggie, and I just want to show you today what is going to be my vegetable garden. I have had it as a vegetable garden for 2 years now. So this is a French intensive method that I do, and that's one bed. I have 3 beds, and today I'm going to be cleaning up these and showing you that I do organic gardening. I don't use pesticides or non-organic fertilizers. So, and this bed I already worked on a little bit last year, so this one's actually ready to go, but these other 2 beds are not, and I'm going to work on those today. Alright, you can see my face now. I'm going to use this pitchfork, and I'm going to work on just cleaning up the bed right now. So I'm going to pull out the weeds. The best way to do this, and I'm not an expert, but I've been doing vegetable gardens for a really long time, is to use pitchfork because it's going to get up all the roots of the plants. I don't like rototillers. They just plow, kind of turn the weeds over into it, and unless you have alfalfa or something that's like a green crop that is going to add nitrogen into the soil, it's just going to drain, or it's just basically you're just going to get a lot of weeds if you just turn them over into the soil instead of picking them out. The way I do French intensive method allows for weeds not to grow as fast. With the French intensive method, it's really easy and efficient. And basically, you plant the crop close enough together so that it covers the soil so that there's less sun on it and therefore less weeds. So I'm going to get started. Throughout the winter too, I've been putting ashes on the beds. It adds a little bit of potassium to the soil. So I'm shaking the soil out of the weeds, and then I'm going to put them in there, and I'm going to take them to my compost pile. This has worked really deep, French intensive method. And the other thing is you don't want to step on the bed, because as soon as you're stepping on the bed, then you're compressing the soil. Ah, snake. There's a snake over there. I have a lot of snakes here. Not a problem, because I am not remotely afraid of them. I like them. I guess this is a pretty perfect situation, because I have a tiny house, and I am working the, perfect little garden in front of my tiny house. So that means if I'm hungry in the summer and I have vegetables started, I can go out and pick some greens and make myself a nice salad. Now, the other awesome thing is that the vegetables are really fresh and organic and delicious compared to what you buy at the store. They have so much life in them because you picked them immediately, and it is a noticeable difference, really. So I'm tamping. You saw me kind of hit the soil a little bit. That helps, like, the weeds release the soil from the roots. And because this has already been worked, this is so easy to do. It doesn't require a whole lot of effort on my part. After I'm done with this bed, I'm going to put a layer of compost on it. A thick layer, about 3 inches. So I only kind of got one bed done. I turned the soil over and I pulled out all the weeds. this part right here has some compost on it, and this is, let's see, so you can see it's really nice stuff from my compost pile. So awesome stuff. And I put about 3 inches on this, so it's gonna make a great garden. Yes, you can tell that was barely, that was a seed from a mango, I think. So, but basically, pretty much everything should be unidentifiable for the most part. You could basically look at it and go, okay, what does this look like? And most of the time, you shouldn't really be able to tell what it looks like. And that's when you know the compost is done. And so this is 2 years old. So yep, looks awesome. Now it's going to be ready for some organic fertilizer and the plants. So I've started plants from seed, and I will go over there and look at those. So all my seed are organic. These are 4 kinds of tomatoes, and actually I think there's 6 kinds of tomatoes here. And then this is mostly, you can't plant everything from seed. You have to do like some from seed, and some not from seed. But these are a lot of cruciferous types of vegetables, like different lettuces and stuff like that. And I will have to thin them before I plant them. But so there we are. So I finished putting on the compost, and now today I'm forking it into the garden bed, and I'm going to put fertilizer on it, organic fertilizer on it, and I'm going to start planting today. And there's my seedlings, they're doing quite well, and the fairy house. And over here, yesterday I went to a Japanese party, and well, it was a garden party, kind of like under the cherry blossoms, under sakura. That's the word for cherry blossoms. And that is some leftovers from yesterday that I had. That's a tea bowl, and that is a bean paste sweet. So the tea bowl has thin tea in it. Usucha is called. And I'm just going to have that as a little snack, and then I'm going to get back to gardening. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my compost. I use human manure, and this right here was a poo. I'm kidding. I don't know if it was a poo or not, but it is 2 years old, and so, I mean, it's so composted right now. It doesn't smell. That's the really great thing about, this, is that basically when you thermophilically compost stuff, it just turns into like soil compost, which is, many people call it black gold because it's just wonderful in the soil. So so this was human manure and is human manure, and it is fantastic, and I've used it for years, and it makes a fantastic garden. So I'm going to plant the seeds now. I'm not going to plant the seedlings yet because I want to wait a little bit longer. In this bed I've got kale, beets, onions, parsnips, turnips, and Brussels sprouts. It's a little late to be planting the onions, but I'm going to do it anyway. I just planted this kale, and it is a dwarf Siberian, and it's got really small seeds, and I feel like my garden's kind of small, but it's gonna make a lot of kale, so much so that I don't even think I'll be able to eat it all. But yeah, am I self-sufficient? That's probably a question you're asking. I would say no, I'm not. Not at all. I don't have a root cellar, which is something you would need in this climate if you were going to be self-sufficient, and I need a whole lot more. I need more trees, fruit trees, and probably some chickens if I was going to be like, but I don't eat meat, so I would just eat like the eggs. So, but for the most part, no, I'm not self-sufficient. I'm trying to be. I'd like to be. You know, I know people who are and are just about really close to being self-sufficient, but that's not me. And here are pictures of the garden later in the season. This is some pea plants, and here are some peas. And this is a dinner ahead using my own produce from my garden. And this is later on in the season when you can see things are quite developed. And some pea flowers, so pretty. And some zucchini plants. This is my landmate Andy working in the garden. And here's some kale and some zucchini. And some peas growing on the fence. And a lone cucumber. And a huge tomato. And lots of tomatoes at the end of the season, and lots of squash at the end of the season. If you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.